Love that video. What's up, everyone? I'm Alex Ackerman.
And I'm Andy McNamara, and you are watching the 2021 EA Play Live pre-show.
Concert for cows, that's got to be a first, but probably my favorite way to open a show ever.
It's
the
amazing.
latest expansion for Sims 4 Cottage Living is out today, so go get your cross-stitch on and check it out after the show.
All right, in just a few minutes, the EA Play Live main event is coming with all the news, sweepstakes, and surprises you know and love. But first, we want to take a moment to recap all the news that's been revealed this summer. And what a summer it's been.
Oh, yeah.
I personally have done nothing else but play Mass Effect Legendary Edition.
I think you actually mean Romance Garrus, or maybe that's just me. It's been a huge summer regardless for EA Originals. The talented Joseph Fares and the team over at Hazelight gifted us the critically acclaimed and my personal favorite, It Takes Two. Millions of you have been dodging with dodgeballs in Velen's Knockout City, and the soon-to-be-released Lost in Random was an official Tribeca Film Festival selection.
Congrats to the Zoink team. We can't wait to play. And for those who haven't yet been acquainted with their magical world, let's take a look at the story trailer for Lost in Random.
Let's.
Welcome to the world of random, where everyone's destiny is decided by a roll of the one true dice, and the one true queen who controls it. For when a child comes of age, they must roll this dice just once, and in so doing, determine their fate for all eternity.
Happy birthday.
Be grateful, child, that the Queen herself is here for your special day. Now roll the dice, and let's see what kind of person you truly are. Ah, you live with us now. Lucky girl.
Odd! Hold on, Odd. Oh, where is this place? Stop trying to kill me! Are you,
Foolish child, turn back at once.
Be very careful, Even. We're in uncharted territory.
Haven't you heard the bedtime stories?
You're a long way from one town.
Dice? I haven't seen a real one in years.
I'm supposed to say something important. You know nothing.
It's You tell me where my sister is, you witch! Odd? Where are you? I'm coming for you, sis.
Water.
Odd!
What do we do to those that stand in our way?
We destroy them, my queen.
That trailer gives me the chills, I think, every time we watch it. Stay tuned for more on Lost in Random, including an exclusive first look at combat gameplay later on in the main show. Speaking of combat, I can tell you as a part of the team over at Respawn that Apex will be showing up later today in a pretty big way.
Of course, Battlefield 2042 has some big news to share as well, but you would already know that if you tuned into the EA Play Spotlight series. Over the last few weeks, we've gathered creative leaders from across the EA studios to share their insights and some exciting news.
Yeah, we did. Here are a few of the highlights.
Wake up, they gave me Secret and did the Beyonce drop.
Always go with Beyonce.
Flawless.
Exactly.
Hypermotion is a next-gen exclusive technology powered by Real Football that brings gameplay to the next level of realism. Hypermotion integrates advanced 11 versus 11 mocap and machine learning for the first time to create the most authentic, responsive, and fluid experience on the pitch.
Scouting as a whole is being revamped. So you start things off essentially by getting a baseline scouting on every player. And one of the big goals I had was I wanted to add complexity to the feature, but I wanted to remove some of the tediousness of it.
I think we're having a sort of golden age at the moment where this freedom is allowed, and people like myself can start to see themselves coming through in these stories. And I hope that authenticity isn't lost.
You know, I think that's exactly why we're at Indie Studios, because that authenticity is worth the struggle. It's worth fighting for.
You need to ask people for a bit of faith to stick with the idea and just stay with it. And okay, we're not sure what it will be. And
they will be like, you know what, go for it. They give you that space and room to play, which is so beautiful and rare to see.
Now is the time to make something totally great and unique. It's harder in a movie today because it's been going on for longer.
How comes you get all the cool gadgets?
What should fans expect from Battlefield 2042 at EA Play Live?
So I think it's that mode that was on the whiteboard for many decades and many years and never kind of happened, and now Christian and his team and LA have been, orchestrating and building it. So Christian,
I'm hoping that the players, the community will really embrace and like what we're going to show them.
Lars, Mr. Battlefield Gustafsson, who is jumping around on his Zoom chair.
So get a sturdy chair ready to watch it.
If you're a fan of first-person shooters, EA Originals, sports, or gaming in general, the Spotlight's had something for everyone. If you haven't yet, go check those out on our YouTube channel. There's a ton of great content there.
Yes, there is. And speaking of EA Sports, it's been a big month for FIFA news. So let's treat ourselves for another look at the FIFA 22 trailer. Andy, I need to correct myself. That was not a treat. That was a feast.
Feast.
A feast. And FIFA fans, you have to check out the FIFA Spotlight, which offered a deep dive into all the updates coming to FIFA 22. Now, FIFA won't have news to share in the main show because we're going to give it to you right now.
Unbelievable. Yes, fans of FIFA Ultimate Team already know that this year some fan favorite footballers are returning in the form of FIFA Ultimate Team Heroes. 9 of them have been revealed so far, and right now we're going to share 2 more.
Ooh, okay.
First up, it's heroic Premier League striker turned manager Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
And second, a fine man from the Rhineland, it's Lars Ricken.
And who doesn't like Lars? There's more where that came from. And remember, if you pre-order the Ultimate Edition before August 11th, you will get a bonus Ultimate Team Heroes pack. And of course, EA Play members get their hands on the game early.
Yes, they do, but that is just one benefit of being a member. An EA Play membership is your ticket to getting more from your favorite EA games, including fantastic in-game rewards and exclusive content in all of these upcoming titles.
And speaking of rewards, we'll be giving away a whole mess of great prizes during the main show, including gear from Logitech, Polaris, plus thousands of game codes, and EA Play memberships.
Yes.
So make sure to stay tuned to the main show for your chance to win. And if you haven't already, make sure to link your Twitch and EA accounts.
Yes, that's right, because I personally have hand-coded an Apex Legends Jumpmaster weapon charm.
Thank you for that.
You're very welcome, that you can earn just by watching the show on Twitch. So Apex fans, stick around because you are not going to want to miss a closer look at the latest legend coming to the Apex games. If you don't know who I'm talking about, we got our first look at Seer just a few days ago. Check it out.
It has been seen. A woman will rise, bearing the mark of the moth. Her firstborn will be a cursed child. His eyes drawing us all to the flame. Refuse the child's gaze or be undone. One glance will reduce a mountain to dust. A king to a beggar. And an ocean to a desert. Everything he touches will be changed. This, it cannot be unseen.
Wow, the Apex team is getting wilder and wilder with those lore trailers. I can't wait to see more.
Trust me, you're not alone. I love that trailer, but we have a lot more coming up during the main show that you're not going to want to miss.
And that is now mere moments away. But one last recap from us featuring one of the newest members of the EA Sports family, Codemasters.
Yes, you'll know them best from their incredible slate of racing titles like Dirt, Grid, and the F1 series, whose latest installment just dropped a few days ago.
If you follow F1, you know it's been an absolutely crazy year so far with some amazing rivalries. Well, if you want to put yourself right in the middle of that, Cody's is here to make that dream a reality. Let's drop straight into the action with the F1 2021 trailer.
Nice.
I just don't get it, Zoe. He gets to pit ahead of me, and they give his car the only new power unit last season. And he gets to go out behind me in qualifying. This kid is a new #1 driver.
Coming up in just a few seconds. We're about to begin, and I personally cannot wait for you to see what Battlefield 2042 has in store. I've been Andy McNamara.
I think you still are Andy McNamara, and I'm Alex Ackerman. Thank you so much for tuning in, and enjoy the show.
It is going to be awesome.
Yeah, it is.
to you from Los Angeles, California, this is EA Play Live 2021. I'm your host, WWE superstar Xavier Woods, aka Austin Creed, and we have an amazing show for you today. We've got world premiere gameplay, exclusive first looks, including a brand new multiplayer experience for Battlefield 2042, and a few more surprises they won't even let me tease. Plus, just like last year, we've got some amazing prizes to give away. So keep an eye out throughout the show for hidden letters. They'll spell out a secret code that you'll need at the end of the show if you want a chance to win Polaris gear, Logitech gadgets, and thousands of codes for great EA games, including Mass Effect Legendary Edition, Dirt 5, and more. So let's get to it! EA has long played home to fan-favorite racing titles from Need for Speed to Burnout to Real Racing. And now that the experts at Codemasters are joining the EA family, that incredible lineup just got supercharged with the addition of franchises like Grid, Dirt, Project Cars, and F1. So if you like racing, if you like being in the driver's seat, you're gonna love what Codemasters has cooked up for us today. But first, let's take a quick look at what they do best.
I was just a little girl when I started this. Never thought in the world it would get this big. Not the apple of your eye, now I'm running things, huh? I scared the power out your mind when I jumped and I grew wings. I'ma fight for the rights. I'ma fight for the rights. I'ma fight for the rights to do what I want. Don't test me when I'm on a roll. Let's let it go when I don't get what I want. I found my way from the bottom all the way to the top. And if you think that you can handle what I got, then bring it on. I'ma fight for the rights. I'ma fight for the rights. I'ma fight for the rights to do what I want.
Joining us now from London is Codemasters senior game designer, Becky Crossdale. Welcome, Becky.
Hey, Austin.
Hey, now I heard that you might have a little surprise for us today.
Yes, I do, and I don't know if you can tell, Austin, but I am so excited because on behalf of the entire Codemasters team, this is the world premiere trailer for Grid Legends.
160, take 13, coming.
Dozens of drivers, only one can become champion.
My name is Yume Tanaka. My goal is to become the first woman ever to win the championship.
They know who I am. I'm Nathan McKinney, 5-time Grid Series world champion. Soon to be 6 times. And that's a new record.
If it's grid legal, I can build it to win. Touring cars, muscle cars, open wheel, drift.
Best team, best car.
Win by having the money, by having the guts. So if these idiots can't keep their cars on the track, it's their problem.
You keep pulling up there, that stops, but you're gonna get somebody hurt. Hopefully.
It'll be you.
Bring it on, baby. That's why we're here.
Becky, this looks incredible. On top of the gameplay and the cars and the environments, now we've got all these characters that seem to have different motivations. I'm already incredibly invested. It looks like you guys are really up in the ante on storytelling.
Well, for First and foremost, the Grid series has always been about delivering gameplay excellence. And with Grid Legends, you are still getting that same immersive racing experience that you know and love. But this time we are taking things up a notch and we're adding another layer on top of that. We are really proud of this new story mode.
Well, I do love a good story, and I feel like I've seen a lot of those faces somewhere before.
Yeah, we had the absolute pleasure of working with the incredibly talented Shruti Gatwa, who plays the wonderful Eric in Netflix's Sex Education. We also captured the entire thing using extended reality, or XR, where if you've been watching Disney's The Mandalorian, you will have seen that tech in action. It's what they used to create those incredible worlds.
Well, it sounds amazing, but this obviously isn't racing in space, right?
No. We are using this tech to draw you further into this racing experience. We really want to bring you deeper into the Grid world than ever before. It's also been really great for our actors because they're acting against something that's visually there. It's not the same as green screen or motion capture. They are stepping into our Grid world and reacting with it.
It sounds great. Can you give us any hints on the story, or would that be spoilers?
Without any spoilers, we are giving you a classic underdog tale. We are putting you straight into the driver's seat, right in the middle of the Grid World Series, where you'll be facing off against the all-dominant Raven West team. That is a team that does not like to share the tarmac. And for the rest of the story, well, you just have to wait and see.
But let's talk gameplay. We saw a new big range of vehicles in that trailer. Can you talk about those a little bit?
Oh yeah, there are so many vehicles. We are giving you big rigs, stadium trucks, drift cars, open wheelers, muscle cars, electric cars. We are giving you hyper cars like the Aston Martin Valkyrie. Have you seen that car? And we are also giving you multi-class mixed racing, which means that you can take any of those cars and put them together on the same track.
Well, I just saw a big rig take out an open wheeler in the trailer, and I love it. So is there anything else that you can tell us about Grid Legends?
Without giving too much away, there is a ton of new stuff for the fans to sink their teeth into, including some new modes such as boost mode and elimination mode. We've also got some fancy new locations like the iconic city of Moscow. We've also got the beautiful city of London as well, so you can drive right past Buckingham Palace, or you could travel to the stunning Strada Alpina and take one of our beautiful hypercars to its limit.
All right, well, you heard it here first. Storytelling and extended reality, mixed class racing, new modes, new locations. This is beyond exciting. So Becky, thank you so much for your time.
No, thank you, Austin.
Of course. All right, folks, so we're just getting started. We've seen Grid Legends, and now it's time for a different breed of legend. Years ago, Apex Legends came out of nowhere. And now 100 million players and 17 Legends later, it just keeps getting bigger. We've got more modes, more maps, more platforms for play, and of course, more Legends. So what's next for Apex? Well, today, we have answers. Ladies and gentlemen, I give to you Apex Legends Emergence.
Change. I see it in everything. I see it in a boy rocked by tragedy, transform his pain and defy reality. I see it in the warrior who must choose between their new life and the annihilation of their home. I see it in a girl tortured by revenge, embrace hope when love awakens her heart. I see it in me, a boy born under a bad omen, turn his tale into a legend. Change is relentless, but that does not mean it cannot be beautiful. flame can burn its brightest. Change. Fight it and fall. Accept it and rise above.
Wow. I'm standing here like slack-jawed watching this because there's so much to unpack from that trailer. So let's go ahead and meet the man with all the answers, Apex game director Chad Grenier. So happy to have you here, Chad.
Thanks, Austin. Happy to be here. Before we get started and get into it, I want to give a shout out to the amazing developers at Respawn.
Hey.
All right, well, a subset of them. If you love Apex, it's because of these amazing developers that are working hard creating Apex Legends for us.
Well, big love to the whole Respawn team, especially whoever came up with Lifeline, because that's my girl. But okay, there's a lot for us to talk about, but you know I'm geeked about Seer, so can you tell us some more about his abilities? I saw this man stare through walls. He's got drones coming out of his chest. Please tell me about his kit.
Yeah, similar to Bloodhound, Seer is all about tracking enemies, but in a different way and has a very unique kit. So while you're aiming down the sights, you'll have a heartbeat sensor that will give you hints as to where an enemy might be. If you think you've located them, you can use your tactical, which sends out some of those drones out of your chest and will actually reveal and track the enemy's location. The ultimate is really powerful, especially in certain gameplay situations. You can send out hundreds of micro drones and create a sphere around an area that you choose, and all enemies that are moving quickly through that space are tracked.
I love when there's new abilities that kind of change the game, because this game obviously is always changing, always evolving, and whenever there's a new legend, there's always an interesting shift in the meta. So with those incredible abilities, how do you think that Seer is going to change the game?
Yeah, again, I mentioned Bloodhound also as a tracker, but unlike Bloodhound, Seer is about very precise and lingering information. So he's a bit more of a stealth-oriented legend, and you're going to see, I think, some interactions because of that sphere I mentioned, his ultimate. If you're moving quickly through that space, your footsteps are revealed. But now if you're walking slowly, you can avoid the detection. And so I think you'll see some interesting gameplay experiences and new ways to play with slowing it down a bit.
Yeah, it sounds like once the ring gets tight especially, you're going to have a lot of new ways to play this game. But this past season, for instance, it felt like Apex really moved beyond Battle Royale with the introduction of arenas. So what's the reaction been like for you guys?
The fan reaction has been really great. We're seeing a lot of players enjoy arenas, which is awesome. We're really excited to finally have a way to play Apex Legends beyond Battle Royale. And yeah, people are loving it. So we've got new maps in the works and some other things coming I don't want to talk about just yet, but we've got a lot planned for arenas.
All right, fair. Well, I do know that you guys announced ranked arenas are coming as well. So can you give us some information on that?
Yep, so we've got one season of arenas under our belts now. We wanted to make sure that we were seeing how players were adapting to the mode, make sure to get the balance right, make sure that the price and the economy is correct, and now we'll be introducing the ranked mode in Emergence. So it's a bit of a different ranked system than we have in the Battle Royale mode, so we're really excited for you to get your hands on it.
Well, it's really cool to see Apex always doing new things, like for instance, leaning into the competitive scene with things like the Apex Legends Global Series. So are we going to see more of the ALGS?
Absolutely. We just ended year one of ALGS. Our championships recently concluded, and it was amazing. There's like so many tactics and amazing plays in there. Many teams were fighting for the championship in the last round. We hit record numbers, so we're really excited in September to be kicking off year 2 of the ALGS. And for the first time, we're going to be inviting PlayStation and Xbox players to compete alongside the PC players, really see who's best, and an all-new league format. So we have more information at playapex.com/ALGS.
Well, I am beyond looking forward to it. And Chad, before you go, I have to ask, when can we see more from Seer?
We've got an awesome gameplay trailer coming on Monday, and Emergence drops on August 3rd. And for now, I can show you a finisher.
Of course, please, please.
This game demands so much of us. But from you, she demands
That's all I need to see. It's so awesome. But Chad, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks, Austin.
Of course. And again, big shout out to the whole Respawn team. Now for the Apex fans watching us on Twitch today, Respawn is hooking you up with an exclusive Jumpmaster gun charm, so make sure you've got your Twitch and EA account linked and keep watching the show to earn that drop. But that's not the only thing we're giving out today. Keep an eye out for the hidden letters that spell out a secret phrase, because at the end of the show, we'll give you a link where you can enter that code for your chance to win some great prizes, including codes for EA originals like Knockout City and It Takes Two. So speaking of originals, let's head across the ocean for some stop motion and check out a soon-to-be-released EA original, Lost in Random.
And just like that, young Austin found himself introducing a new segment.
Hello?
He stalled, bewildered by the voice coming from somewhere unknown. Somewhere random.
Okay. All right, anyway, it's coming soon and it looks really cool.
Austin stopped himself. Why, he'd forgotten to mention the Tribeca Film Festival selection.
It was a selection at the Tribeca Film Festival.
He tried the line again, more enthusiastically.
Look, man, I'm trying to run a whole show.
More enthusiastically. Really selling it.
Could you just let me intro the segment? Thank you. It was an official Tribeca Film Festival selection this summer, and it's coming soon. Joining us from Gothenburg, Sweden to tell us more is Zoink creative director Olav Redmo.
Hello, Austin.
How's it going, Olav? Thank you so much for joining us, and congratulations on Tribeca. It's so cool to see video games right next to movies being regarded as they should be.
Thank you, Austin. I'm so proud of the Zoink team and what we've accomplished, and I'm so happy about the selection because Lost in Random is really inspired by all these movies that I grew up with and stop-motion animation and dark fairy tales. And at Zoink, we're always trying to push narrative in video games, so I'm so happy. Yeah.
Well, I can't wait to see more. Olav of my life. What do you have for us today?
I'm super pleased to share a first look at one of our most unique aspects of Lost in Random's gameplay, Dice Battle, which is an exciting, explosive blend of real-time action and time-stop tactics, where every roll of the dice unleashes incredible powers out of the head of your Jack-in-a-Box buddy, Dicey.
Well, it sounds awesome, so let's take a look.
Once upon a time, there were two devoted sisters named Even and Odd. Cruelly separated by an evil queen and the roll of a dice.
I'm coming!
Together with this little fella, Even was determined to rescue her beloved sister.
Come on, Dicey!
In this strange and fascinating world of random, adventure and combat go hand in hand. And many peculiar characters await. Some will help her. You mean this one? And some won't.
That's against the rules. Oh, sure. A little girl with a dice.
Those coins can be traded for cards.
Cards. I got cards here, the greatest cards in the land.
Cards contain new attacks, abilities, and more. All of which come in handy during Dice Battle.
Ready, Dicey?
Even uses her slingshot to attack deadly foes. This can knock off energy cubes used to feed her strange companion Dicey. And once fully charged, Even can roll Dicey and freeze time itself. Let's see how she uses it. Oh, impressive. Well done, Even. Nice. Ooh, that was a good one. Even's quest will take her across all 6 realms of random. even must roll the dice and play the odds for just a chance at saving her sister.
Random rules. Long Macy reign.
Dicey, wait!
My child, your sister.
Just from that alone, I already need to play this game. It looks so cool. But what can you tell me about these combat cards that we're seeing?
Cards are just one part of Dice Battle, but I love the way they look, so I brought a few examples to show off.
Oh, okay, awesome. What are we looking at here then?
So as you saw, cards can be selected during combat that unleash new powers and abilities, like this one, for instance, Explosive Dice, which turns Dicey into this ticking time bomb. You just gotta be careful so it doesn't blow you up. Keep your distance. And where's this hammer of 2 lets you summon a giant hammer, which also gives even super strength to be able to swing it around.
Offensive maneuvers, I like it.
But it's not just about offense. Like we have also, for instance, Uma's Blessing, which comes from Uma, this old hidden witch, and she provides a bubble shield to protect even. And that's just a taste. Like there's a lot of different powers at your disposal. Some curse enemies, some heal even, or create traps. Some arenas also work as giant board games affected by rolling dicey. So you're gonna have to try different tactics to conquer the Queen's giant, mad, tabletop-themed arenas.
All right, Olav, obviously, my next question, you know it's coming. When can we play this game?
Yeah, my favorite question. Lost in Random releases on September 10th on PC, console, and Nintendo Switch. And you can pre-order starting right after the show. And if you want a dicey companion of your own, he'll be available to EA Play members as a gun charm in one of my current favorites, Apex. So keep an eye out for that.
Well, you all heard it here first. And Olav, thank you so much for joining us today.
It has been my absolute pleasure, Austin, and welcome to Random.
Thanks. Well, there you have it. Lost in Random is coming soon, but there's another EA original that's already here. And it's bringing that throwback playground heat to the masses. That's right. I'm talking about Knockout City. Uh-oh. Oh, okay. Woo! Dropped earlier this year, Knockout City has had one hell of a summer, and they're just getting warmed up. Here with more is Karthik Bala from Velan Studios in New York.
Thanks, Austin. We're so grateful to our community for the massive response to Knockout City. With millions of new brawlers, hundreds of thousands of crews, and nearly 1 billion KOs landed, your response has really been a knockout. As an indie team dedicated to taking creative risks, having all of you embrace this unique thing we've made is an amazing feeling. And I just want to say thank you. At launch, we promised you new features and updates that keep the game fresh and exciting. Today, I'm here to deliver on that promise. On behalf of the whole Velan Studios team, it's my absolute thrill to present Knockout City Season 2, Fight at the Movies.
In a world of chaos, where mayhem rules the streets, is anyone strong enough to stop the unstoppable? A world where one hero rises to meet instant regret. A world where lovers chase their passions and feel the burn. A world where terror lurks high above. Where warriors fight for dodge brawl supremacy. And teensy tiny brawlers battle it out in a child's bedroom? This season, bring your moves to the movies. Coming July 20. Oh man, that voice is murder on the pipes. The Hollywood Drive-In opens July 27th. We'll see you at the movies. It's showtime.
You saw it. We got new skins. We got a new ball. Knockout City, baby. Season 2 arrives July 27th. And remember, you can play for free up to Street Rank 25, so get in. You might come across me and my crew. We're called That Baseline. You won't beat us because we're really good, but you'll have fun. And right now, it's available on all platforms with crossplay. So if you haven't yet, go ahead, get in there and give it a whirl. All right, everyone, the moment that you have been waiting for is here. You've seen the trailers, you've read the hot takes, and you already know that Battlefield is back, baby. You hear me? It's back. Battlefield is back, baby. It's Battlefield. I can't wait to wingsuit surf a tornado. This game is gonna be so good. And in just a moment, we're revealing a brand new Battlefield 2042 experience. But first, for those who haven't been paying attention, here's what you've been missing out on.
God, look at these maps.
That's so cool. That's the coolest thing I've ever seen. This is awesome. Do it. Please do.
On behalf of our entire team, we hope you're thrilled with what you've seen so far from Battlefield 2042. But this is just the beginning. We have so much more to show you. Battlefield 2042 is built up by 3 epic experiences. Firstly, of course, all-out warfare that we showed you earlier. Secondly, Hazard Zone that we'll show off later this year. And now, a new community-driven experience that we're happy to share with you today. Built by our old friends over at Ripple Effect, formerly DICE LA, it's an experience designed from community feedback. It's an experience we've dreamt about building for over a decade. So, let's have a look.
looks incredible. There's so many crazy things happening in this trailer. We got knives versus defibrillators. We got soldiers from every era. I have so many questions, so let's bring on an expert. Here to help us out is the general manager of Ripple Effect. We've got Christian Grass. Welcome, Christian.
Hey, Austin. Thanks for having me. Super excited to be here.
Of course. Thank you for being here. Now, that trailer, absolutely ridiculous. Like, what the hell did we just see?
So what you just saw was the Battlefield Portal. It's a new community-driven experience that gives players the freedom to write their own rules and shape their own battlefield. You can mix and match content from Battlefield 1942, Bad Company 2, BF3, and Battlefield 2042 to create brand new game modes. Then you can share and discover those on the Portal platform. And that's just what's coming at launch. This is a real love letter to the fans from our incredible team.
And and this is your squad.
Yes, this is the fantastic Ripple Effect team, and they deserve all the credit in the world for creating this great experience. We've had so much fun bringing back some of the most beloved vehicles, gadgets, weapons, and maps from past titles.
Well, thank you all.
Huge credit to this amazing team and everyone who's made Battlefield 2042 possible.
All right, so to bring it back, when you say beloved maps, we're talking Caspian Border?
Yes.
Arica Harbor?
Yes.
El Alamein?
Yes, El Alamein is also included. It's actually my all-time favorite map. Plus, we have Noshar Canal, Battle of the Bulge, and Valparaiso. And of course, all 7 of the new epic scale maps already announced for 2042, they're also playable in Portal.
I love it. I love it. But this is more than just maps, right?
Absolutely. Portal is a chance for the community to drive the platform. There's a whole slate of customization options and even an advanced logic editor for you to play around with. Tools that were previously only available to us on the development team.
So that trailer, it was just packed with a ton of crazy moments. So I'm curious, how wild can we actually get with Portal?
You can get pretty wild.
Yeah? Okay, so can I pit World War II against 2042?
Yes, you can.
Okay, what about game modes? Can I make an infection mode where it's me against a ton of super fast soldiers with knives?
Absolutely.
Okay, what about shoddy snipes? But not just regular shoddy snipes, like a gun game with a whole bunch of shoddy snipes from all throughout history.
That is a very specific idea there as the game evolves. We want this experience to go where you want to take it. We see the sandbox as a big part of the future of Battlefield 2042.
Well, I assume that the community is going to have a field day with this.
I really hope players will embrace Portal. That's who we built it for. In fact, we gave a sneak peek to a few members of the community to see what they could come up with.
Oh, okay. I assume my invitation got lost in the mail, but that's fine. That's fine. Let's check it out.
2 teams and 2 VIPs, but only one way to score. This is VIP Fiesta by Courage. It's the US factions of Battlefield 3 and Bad Company 2, facing off on Arica Harbor with 24 players and random loadouts. Die and you'll redeploy with an all-new loadout. Track down that enemy VIP and make it count. All bring the power of 2042 to Caspian Border and take on the forces of 1942. This is Quality versus Quantity by Gabitron. A small squad from 2042 are taking on 32 players from 1942. The future's got the hardware, but the past's got the numbers. Destroy those MCOMs. But do it before your tickets are up. You're not getting them back unless you clear the sector. Not enough memes? Fine. Set up on Orbital for the fight of your lives with Robot Man by Redacted. 20 duck-sized EOD bots, 1 horse-sized T-91. Settle your Battlefield debates on who wins what.
Come on, dude. Robot Man? What? This looks so much fun. But I need to know. Just pretend like the cameras aren't here. Just me and you. Who's Redacted?
Can't tell you that, sorry. But what I can tell you is that we're so excited for the players to create or simply discover their favorite new way to play Battlefield. And we can't wait to explore and try out the thousands of experiences our community will build once they have the tools in their hands.
And we get our hands on Portal at launch, right?
Yes. Okay. Portal will be available at launch, day 1. along with a bunch of pre-made modes for you to try right away.
Okay, this is fantastic. Now, Christian, before you go, let me make sure that I have all of this straight. So on top of all the content and maps that have already been announced, we also get content from Battlefield 1942, Bad Company 2, and Battlefield 3, including 6 of the best maps of all time, and all that can be sliced, diced, and mixed together in Portal. And then we still have Hazard Zone coming later this year?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm telling you, Austin. If you've always been a fan, or if you've never played Battlefield before, we want Battlefield 2042 to be the ultimate Battlefield experience.
Christian, just thank you. Thank you.
My pleasure, Austin. I'll see you on the battlefield.
All right, so Portal looks incredible, and we could end things there, but I don't think we're done just yet. We're gonna leave you with one more surprise. First, though, you remember that secret code? I hope you were paying attention because all of the letters have been revealed. So if you want to win some awesome games and gear, stick around because we're gonna give you the link to enter in just a second. But for now, come with me. I hope you've enjoyed the show as much as I've enjoyed being your host. Now, my name is Austin Creed, and our last reveal is somewhere in there. But you know what? Why don't you go first?
If you're playing games on a computer, there are a ton of essential programs that you need to know about, and they're free. Hi folks, it's Falcon, and today on GameRank's 25 free PC programs every gamer should have. At number 25 is Patch My PC or Ninite. These programs allow you to update or install a lot of essential programs at once, and they're also really great for quickly setting up a new PC. This will get you pretty much everything you want right out of the gate. A lot of the programs listed here aren't exactly PC gaming specific, but a lot of them are really useful for the day-to-day stuff you'll do on your computer. Both Ninite and Patch My PC are widely recommended. They're both fine to use. Ninite's very simple, while Patch My PC is a little bit more granular. They both have upsides and downsides, so check them out, see which one you prefer, but it's a really useful program. At number 24 is OpenRGB, which setting up RGB lighting for your computer can actually be pretty annoying. Seems like every manufacturer and developer out there has a different program with different settings, but OpenRGB can make adjusting your RGB lighting a lot easier. It's open source, it's not proprietary, and it works with both Windows and Linux, and it's got a really simple interface, has a low overhead, it's really easy to use. But be sure to check the supported devices list before you attempt to use the program, because certain hardware will not work with it. At number 23 is GOG Galaxy, a useful all-in-one launcher for every game you have installed, which will automatically compile your games from Steam, Origin, Epic Games Store, pretty much everything else into one list. It even lets you choose which version you want to start if you have the same game on multiple launchers, and it's also great for compiling your friends list. If you don't want to use a launcher tied to a storefront, Playnite is a more basic but effective alternative. It's open source as well, but GOG Galaxy is pretty much, it's great. And number 22 is KeePass. It allows you to store passwords.
They say I walk like a king, talk like a king. You can act around now, say the same thing. It is
amazing. So it's bringing together maps from Battlefield 1942, Battlefield Bad Company 2, Battlefield 3, not Battlefield 4, unfortunately. That one still has some good maps and is kind of quite beloved as well. And I think that I'm just really excited to see these classic maps, and they're giving the community a lot of control over the customizability, which is a really smart move, I think, by Ripple Effect. Ripple Effect themselves have an excellent track record going back to Battlefield 4 when they were DICE LA. They created the community test server and things like that. They created a couple of the expansion packs. So they really know the game extremely well. And I think that it is in super good hands. I cannot wait to see some of the maps that they put out, including White Pass from Bad Company 2. Please put that one in there, because that one is so atmospheric and so gorgeous with the snow and everything.
Now, it seems like this is what we're getting at launch. I have a feeling they're going to continue to support this and drop in plenty more maps. But to be clear, this isn't a map editor or like a level editor. This is like a mode editor, basically, right?
Yeah, no, exactly. That's exactly what it is. You can have large numbers of, say, World War II German soldiers fighting specialists from Battlefield 2042. You can tweak all of the rules and the guns that are available. They're really giving people a ton of kind of control over how the game plays out. And I think that will go over extremely well with the community. I'm honestly stoked to play this game, not the least because Battlefield Bad Company 2 was my favorite game in this series. So I'm so happy to be revisiting it in my own weird way. And also I'm really excited to have like all kinds of crazy stuff, just trying to take out one giant tank or whatever. And I hope they bring the penguins in. Bring the penguins in.
This looks like so much fun. Stella, you're big into shooters. You're very much sort of our Apex expert, which we'll get to in a second. But what was your read on Battlefield 2042?
I think this is huge. Like, not only is this appealing to the fan base, but this is also extending the invite to a lot of other casual players, because you can customize what kind of matches you can have. So say for, like, I get really overwhelmed with really big matches like this, so you can adjust that and make it smaller. And I think that's really cool that they are giving the community access to all of this just included with the game. So I think that's really big for the game. I think they're bringing in new players this way, and I don't know, when they said that this was a love letter to their fans, they weren't kidding.
Yeah, I think they've realized that there's a lot of Battlefield nostalgia out there, especially for Bad Company 2 and Battlefield 3. And so I think it's really smart of them to lean into that and kind of move on from what was kind of a fraught period for the series with Battlefield 5. So with this new mode, I think they really seem to be a lot more tapped into the community than they have been in recent entries.
Yeah, I think just showing the Bad Company grenade won me over immediately.
Yeah.
Because just that subtle nod. I mean, just for me, I'm thinking like what Ubisoft has been doing with the Splinter Cell franchise and just sort of going in what I would consider the wrong direction versus this, where they're just like, hey, we've heard you. We're bringing back all these classic maps. We're going to allow you to create these cool modes. I was already excited. Now I'm even more excited because you have all of these things sort of making a comeback and you get to play them again in all their new visual glory. Yeah, like the wingsuit and the grapple hook already sold me. This is just like icing on the cake.
Well, it's such a cool option because I mean we've seen some of the best multiplayer games ever have started out as mods made by players using an existing game as kind of the basis. I mean that's what like Counter-Strike was. That's what Dota started out as, like people tinkering with what was there in front of them, and this is presenting that in a way that's not like you don't have to be coding, you have to be getting in the guts of it. Like this is kind of opening up the tool set to players to really play around and create their own custom rules, and I feel like we're going to see some really interesting stuff coming out of it. We've already seen the Battlefield community gets very creative. Like we've seen the wacky stunts that people pull off, and just people get really invested in this, and it's going to be awesome to see kind of the creative side of that. And it's also it'll buy us some time until DICE can add in new stuff on their end. We're presumably going to get more maps and DLC down the road, but like this will definitely keep things interesting while they're cooking away at that, because gotta stay busy.
I adore that they took the time to render this scene, by the way.
Right? This is
they're having way too much fun with this. And
yeah,
I think the highlights it kind of reminds me of The Final Countdown, this 80s movie with where an aircraft carrier goes back in time to World War II. So I want to see Twitch highlights of a Spitfire in a dogfight with an F-18 or an F-22. It'll be great.
No, I mean it's surrealist science fiction at this point. It's very cool. And also I've always wanted to see Nazis versus defibrillators. I think that's a very interesting approach there. Now shifting gears here, Stella, Apex. Yes. Let's talk about it. Let's see what's going on with that.
Okay. So they finally revealed Seer and it gave us a little hint on his abilities. We are still not entirely sure what he's bringing. We do know that he is recon. So he has a heartbeat sensor that activates when you're aiming down sights. He can send out a swarm of tiny drones that'll track enemies. And his ultimate is a big sphere of nanobots that will track anyone who goes into it. So this is directly competing with one of the strongest legends that has been in this game since launch, and their name is Bloodhound. And Bloodhound has been a really strong pick in competitive and casual play for forever. So it's going to be really interesting to see how pick rates are going to change this season. The meta seems to still be very much so like one recon player, one defensive, and one movement character. So that doesn't seem to be changing too much. There is ranked arenas now that just got announced. They actually put out in patch notes that it's going to have the same map schedule as unranked arenas. We'll see a bunch of old maps come in, but 3 new maps, Kings Canyon, Hillside, World's Edge Dome, Olympus Oasis, are also getting thrown into the mix. And unlike ranked battle royale, there won't be a split halfway through the season, and your rank won't reset until the end of the season. And actually, in arenas, you will be able to de-rank out of a rank. So in battle royale, let's say you hit diamond and you lose matches and you get down to like negative RP. You won't be de-ranked there, but in arenas, if you lose enough games and you lose RP through plat, like you'll get demoted to gold. So those are like some of the biggest things that I think people are going to be looking at.
Now you're pretty plugged into the sort of Apex community side of things. Are people happy with this news? Is this what they're looking for?
I mean, yeah. I think what the community wants right now more than anything is just kind of an update on how server maintenance is going and how maintenance is going on the whole hacker situation and DDoSing. But I think in terms of like next season, what is it called? Like expectations for the next season. This is a pretty good start. I mean, we got a look at the new gun, which I don't think we needed another LMG, but it's here. So the new Legend looks very cool. But again, I am kind of concerned on how Seer is directly competing against Bloodhound in pick rates. So that's a really interesting call that they put out someone who could potentially take that spot. So
they said we're going to get a gameplay trailer in a few days, right?
Yeah, I think, isn't it next Monday? Something.
I think it's the 26th. Yeah, I don't know what day it is, so
okay.
you're asking the wrong guy. Destin, you were going to say something?
Yeah, so I was really curious actually to hear your thoughts. How do you feel about ALGS allowing PlayStation, Xbox, and PC players all to be in the same pool?
So crossplay and competition has been a really hot topic, especially amongst competitive players. So the aim assist on console is a lot greater in Apex than any other game that I've played. So that's kind of a deterrent. But they did specify that the aim assist that console players would be competing in would be PC aim assist, which is about half the amount that console players currently get on console. So that's a really good step to amend it. I will say that if you do play on PC, keyboard and mouse allows you to get more creative with movement. Not saying that controller players can't do that. It's just a little harder to do specific moves. So I'm very curious to see how this is going to go. We're going to see playoffs first before we see the big Global Series finals. So I'm very curious to see how this format's going to work. And we're going back to LAN. So we don't need to worry about server lag. We don't need to worry about servers shutting down and not being unable to reconnect. So that's going to be really cool. I know it's coming back in January, so it seems like enough time to hopefully get everyone vaccinated and ready for it. So yeah, it's just one of those things that we'll just have to wait and see how it turns out.
Now let's talk about go ahead.
I was going to ask about the 3v3 arenas, which my understanding is that they were delayed because they weren't quite working out. Respawn needed some more time with it, but now they're finally coming out in this season. Is that correct?
Yeah, so I was just talking about the Arenas ranked season that starts with the next one, which is Emergence. So yeah, there's all that stuff that they just uploaded with their new post talking about ranked changes for arenas, how it's going to be different from Battle Royale. I know they said that the first 10 matches that you play, it's going to be hit or miss. Like, you might get absolutely slaughtered. You might absolutely roll enemies. That's because your MMR is going to have to be completely reset just to make sure that the ranked system is working properly. So I'm probably going to wait before I play because I don't know about you guys, but getting stomped in a game kind of makes me feel bad about myself. So I'm good on waiting.
That doesn't seem like too much of an issue, though. I mean, you kick some ass. You're good at this.
Aw, thank you.
You hang in there.
I try.
I, for one, tend to. I'm terrible, but I tend to dabble in the breathy indie games, and we got to look at one of those with Lost in Random. There seems to be like some confusion about what kind of a game this is. We're reading the fine print on this, and it's what is this? Is it a deck builder? Like, what are we doing here?
I'm still not entirely sure because so much of the emphasis has been on the visuals, which admittedly are gorgeous, but from what I'm able to see, it's not that dissimilar from a game like Griftlands or maybe even Slay the Spire, where you are actually building a deck and you're going through these randomized boards. And so there's a heavy strategy element to it. So this game makes it look like it's a 3D action game or something like that, but the actual cards have a large impact on how this game plays out. So I'm still not entirely sure what is going on with it, but it is really pretty.
Yeah, it's really interesting what they're doing. Like I feel like they very much sort of debuted it as I was expecting it to be sort of like a, I don't know, narrative platformer, just one like an artsy little puzzle platformer type of thing, and it's clearly got a lot more kind of crunchy mechanics going on there, and which makes sense now that I see it. There's like you're hanging out with a die, and there's cards along the way. But yeah, this is this looks again like a much deeper layer of strategy to it. This is coming out September 10th, which we didn't previously know. That's coming up pretty soon. And did they say you get a gun charm in Apex Legends? Is that right?
Oh yeah, I think for watching the stream, it's a drop. So if you link your account, then you can get it. So
okay, well, it's like it's a lost and random gun charm. Is that it, or is that just a? It's
is
just
it? I thought it was the you are jump master or whatever charm.
Oh, okay,
for
maybe
Apex.
maybe I'm reading the wrong notes here. We also got to look at Knockout City is getting a season 2 Fight at the Movies, which is coming July 27th. Knockout City, I keep meaning to check it out. IGN loved it. We gave it a 9 out of 10, and it's cool to see they're continuing to support it. Are any of you into Knockout City?
I'm not super into Knockout City, but its popularity makes me feel like it's basically the Fall Guys of 2021, which but maybe better. So
I played it last week and it's actually really fun. It makes me realize though that some of my reflexes are very slow. It makes you have to react like on the spot, and I'm just like I don't have that right now.
I mean, I appreciate that it's applying the sort of the multiplayer logic to what is effectively playground dodgeball, which it's funny because so many competitive multiplayer things borrow, I feel like, from kind of prototypical playground rules, and it's cool seeing it sort of loop around and go back to that. But yeah, I'm very happy to see that they are continuing to support that, because we so often see brand new multiplayer games get released and then they just kind of get left out there. Anyway, we need to take a quick break, but there is more to come, so stick around. We'll be right back after this.
IGN Live is presented by USAA Insurance and presented by Free Guy. Experience it only in theaters August 13th.